Can we just go play on the B stream the rest of the season? Like, please.
They did
That's
get a
where
win
they got
there.
their win.
They did get
right?
a win there.
They got one on the B stream, and they got nothing over here. Maybe their fortunes will finally change. Lucia, how fitting would it be if he scores right here? He just about did. And now D-Bank and Too Fast will take over. D-Bank around in front, but cleared away by Bernie.
It'd be so sad because I think Bernie has sent me a friend request like every night too. So like Bernie's definitely said like he really enjoys being in
Are
these
you
lobbies.
ghosting him? Are you ghosting him?
I mean,
oh my
look at
goodness,
him. He's
Lucia
ghosting the
scores.
ball. That goes right past him, and Lucia gets an open net. You see D-Bank gets an extra touch. No chance stood the defense. That's the first goal for UNT.
Daz leaving Bernie on red, and North Texas on the board early.
Hey, I would leave you on the red.
Couldn't get any
okay?
worse.
Hey, come on. I almost did leave you on red that one time.
Never. Here goes Sugar, and Time trying to get downfield. Sugar trying to do a lot of work with absolutely nothing in the tank. Time does have a full canister to work with, and D-Bank just picks his pocket and forces Bernie into action right on the goal line.
Ooh, that's a good
Sugar
one.
was trying to break out. This is
what?
awkward, and Lucia drove under the ball. Oh, that should have been 2-0. Now Time looking to capitalize, but D-Bank got back to help out.
You know, we talk a lot about Bernie, at least at the start here, but Bernie has been so big for Missouri S&T. Anytime they're on surges, it's usually led by him. That being said, last night, we did not see that from Bernie. It was Sugar and Time who stood up. Bernie had a good game one, but he fell off towards the end. And again, this is a Missouri S&T, the minors here. They need to all be on the same page for you to really start to see the success. It's been a quiet, I'd say, opening so far. They gave up a goal, but since then, they've been playing pretty decent here against North Texas.
Too Fast got this ball in front, but Bernie has the clear. Now Time gonna have Bernie far to his right, but Time's gonna have to take this himself and try to set up a rebound opportunity. Bernie keeps it in, but it's wow, what a win there as well. Looked like it was gonna be cleared away. Finally, Too Fast does. D-Bank with a whiff. Lucia's shot goes right by Time. Had to be perfectly to the far left, and it was.
Yeah, Time was low on boost. Went to get the 100, and as soon as he's in front of the box, the shot comes through. He hesitates for a moment, and it's that moment where it goes in. Lucia shooting 2 for 3, and North Texas up by 2 as we hit that 3-minute mark.
Too Fast now. Giving way to D-Bank. Sugar out of the corner has Bernie. Couldn't quite hit him, but the ball still finds its way in front of the target.
Wow.
But nothing else doing. Too Fast, one touch, and he was too fast for the Miners defense. 3-0 as North Texas is running away with game one.
Soft touch, and Bernie, he was caught out as soon as he committed on that midfield. Needed to turn all the way back. He was in a 1v1 versus Too Fast. Too Fast plays a lot of ones. He saw that open opportunity and immediately punished the extension from Missouri S&T.
And another kickoff to be controlled by UNT. No, Time won that ball out of the corner.
Whoa.
Everybody crisscrosses in front. And it should be North Texas possession again. It's a little awkward in their zone, but there is not a single orange car to be found. Too Fast finally runs into Time. Lucia over Bernie. And everybody from Missouri S&T is just getting outpaced by the North Texas Mean Green.
And you know, that really has to do with Missouri S&T playing reactionary Rocket League. They're giving North Texas space, and they're also expecting North Texas to make touches as if they're a perfect team. Whereas if they force the issue, they could catch North Texas slacking on defense. We've seen it a couple of times, especially with that fake Bernie head in front of the box. And all Missouri S&T need to do is start to force the issue, and maybe they could be successful.
Popped away by Lucia. Too Fast is there. No further advantage for North Texas. Sugar trying to cut into the lead. Lucia blocks the initial shot. Everybody whiffs on the follow-up, including Bernie. And that's all Time could do just to get a touch on that ball. But nothing towards the North Texas net. D-Bank just dribbles all the way through. Had the ball for a moment, got the boost instead. And Missouri S&T continues to look for an opportunity. And now this almost ends up in their net. How does that go that way? Unreal.
Yeah, missed touch, and Lucia.
Oh, Lucia! Okay. I guess he's just there for that.
Yeah, he stayed on that. He just stayed in front of the box, and then look at that. Nice angle.
That's filthy.
It's so good. That's his hat trick, and that's D-Bank's playmaker. 3 goals from Lucia, 3 assists from D-Bank, 4 goals for North Texas, as they are dominating in game 1.
And if they would let Missouri S&T actually take a shot, maybe D-Bank could, or rather Too Fast could make himself useful and get a savior medal. Who knows? Maybe asking a little too much. North Texas has been dominant in this opening game.
Yeah, that savior medal you speak of goes towards Bernie there, as he's got 3 saves, but that's the only saves that you see coming out of Missouri S&T. Defense has not been there. This is a bad spot. Look at Too Fast. He does not wait on anyone, and that's the difference between these two. 5-0.
Yeah, North Texas plays at 1 speed, at its go. There's a lot of hesitation on the other half of the field, and you cannot hesitate at all against North Texas. They will eat you alive, and that's exactly what's happening in game 1. This one has been decided for a while. Going to game 2, and if you're a Missouri S&T fan, you just hope for a new start for the Miners here. But D-Bank, just dance around one, dance over another. A crying shame that he didn't score, but Lucia will, and right now it's just they're playing with their food.
Yeah, like you said, they're just playing around at this point. Bernie, love you, Bernie, but you got sent to the wolves on that one. No chance again. 6-0, 20 seconds remaining. And
this is one of those demoralizing losses too for Missouri S&T, because North Texas, they haven't been trying for the last 90 seconds, and they've still added 2 or 3 goals. Here goes D-Bank. Sweat mode reactivated. Double on the way. Bang, bang.
D-Bank. Yeah, he was quiet, only making the assists. But now he says, you know what? I need one on the board too. Finds the double. 7-0 in the final few seconds. And, I see this dominance. It's usually, they got the Brazil.
They just all turned off this. Who's it? D-Bank just goes right downfield like that. Y'all can have it. Lucia did. All right. Well, sure. Sugar got a goal in game 1 for Missouri S&T. Congratulations, North Texas. Hey, Brazil in game 1.
Well, yeah, you'd love to see it. Just a team that comes in and does everything right. At least for North Texas, everything ended up working out for them. No mistakes, as they didn't drop a goal except for obviously the one they gave up on the purpose. So for North Texas,
15 shots.
Fantastic. They limited Missouri S&T. I mean, besides the goal, it was 2 shots for Missouri S&T over the course of 5 minutes of gameplay. So for them, a lot of struggles here in the opener, but now they know, okay, you're going against the green machine here in North Texas, and this thing is a beast to deal with.
They are feasting in Denton right now as North Texas runs away with game 1. We go to Forbidden Temple to try and turn things around for the Miners. Get a long series ahead of them, a long road if they want to come back against North Texas. It is a brand new game. It all starts 0-0. We'll see if Bernie and company can pull it off.
Yeah, seeing North Texas and paying attention to, their offense. Again, I think it's really just a big factor for North Texas that, okay, we can continuously push on this defense and we'll get result time after time again. And for me and for Missouri S&T, it's got to be them playing up to speed, if not just completely controlling how everything works here. Because if they play that reactionary game, if they give the space to North Texas are going to take that, and it'll just be a short series. We need to see a change here for the boys on the orange side.
Well, here's a change as Too Fast barely made the save. D-Bank had to slam that off the crossbar to have any hope of clearing it out, and Missouri S&T couldn't score there. Oh, that's brutal. Time with a big save on D-Bank on the counter, and we are off and running with game 2. Oh, the Miners tried to change things up super quick, almost scored off the kickoff, Now that everybody goes back to the drawing board, time can run onto this, but it's Sugar who has to play to the corner to prevent the big clear.
That's so scary for Missouri S&T. Everyone in that right corner. Now Lucia transition, and it almost was a goal. Sugar backflips to make a save. More pressure. Too fast. Almost there in time. But now Bernie trying to move downfield. It's a pass out. Time with a big block. That looks like it was going in, but Too Fast is there.
Sugar now trying to snipe the bottom corner. D-Bank ranges over for the save. Hey, the aggression's there now for Missouri S&T, but they cannot get too anxious on the offensive end. Time beaten out by D-Bank. Didn't have the boost to chase that down. D-Bank rolls it by Bernie, and it's that win at midfield boost management key for North Texas.
Yeah, Bernie low on boost, trying to get back. By the time he gets to the pad, D-Bank already has the shot lined up. Like you said, it was the midfield. Bernie was out of boost, and he had a tough time getting to that pad. He didn't have a dodge, and that makes a difference, especially in a high-level Rocket League. North Texas start this one off with a goal, and it looks like they're trying to set up for another.
Sugar sent all the way to the ceiling. Time did not want that touch. D-Bank could not get by Sugar off the recovery. So now Lucy has to bring this all the way back to his own zone. Opportunity for Bernie. Oh, and it doesn't bounce downward. It comes straight out, and it's all Time can do to get a touch. D-Bank will have all day to play this out of the North Texas end, and he'll have a full tank of boost. He won't have Lucia to help him out. May not matter. Good stop by Bernie.
And Bernie able to get back in time, but he's still low on boost here, so the team does have to buy him some time. Meanwhile, Too Fast looking for that top left corner. Forces Bernie to use the last of the boost
between them all.
They are barely holding on, and there's the demo. Meanwhile, North Texas continuing with the pressure as Missouri S&T, it feels like they're trapped in their own half.
They are. I mean, they had 18 boosts between all three players. There was absolutely nothing they could do about this.
You see the missile strike here from D-Bank, and that describes the offense from North Texas. Constantly a threat on the net. They finally find one there to pick up a 2-goal lead. And we are approaching the halfway point of this game. North Texas continuing. That's a 2. I'm at 3. Lucia gets on the board.
What a bump. You always see this. Somebody follows through on the kickoff, and Sugar just gets spun out. Can't recover. Lucia scores. And it is turning into another runaway for the Mean Green. Finally, Bernie wins this one through, but Lucia very cleverly around 2 attackers, and it forces Time, the last man back, to even attempt to play this out of the zone. This will get a cross, but then Time's taken out again. I mean, it's just when you don't have boost, not only can not only can you not jump or outpace anybody, but you're such an easy target for bumps and demos.
Yeah, and I'm honestly, most of the boost or lack of boost in these situations comes from, it starts in the midfield, right? A lack of a challenge, someone getting overly aggressive. They're using a lot of the boost that they end up grabbing, which forces their teammates to play back. So then you have a teammate playing back, has to stop this type of play with no boost. You have no chance. And Too Fast picks up the 4th goal.
Too fast, too good. 4-0 with less than 2 minutes to go, and Missouri S&T have just got to do a lot of soul searching here. They are not able to keep up with North Texas. And you know what? Fair play. Not a lot of teams in the West can. They're 6-1 for a reason. D-Bank hard out of the corner. Too Fast coming on, and Time is right there to meet him. And a lot of credit to Missouri S&T. They're not just, putting their heads down and giving up. They are absolutely still on the grind here, trying to get back into this game and this series. Sugar out towards Bernie. They need something to go their way. That challenge finally does, but then they all have to back off because Lucia's right there.
This is tough for them. It's really a battle of comfortable positioning. The team doesn't necessarily look like they are in those comfortable spots on the field, and it leads to some uncomfortable challenges. And on top of that, when you have that, you're wasting a lot of boost. But, I mean, it also comes down to when you're in the net. Look at this from D-Bank. Again, that's going to be his 3rd goal of the game. He had 1 in game 1, but now he is just completely peppering the net.
And they've been picking on Sugar too. I mean, they have bumped him left, right, and center. They've beaten him pillar to post, and he just cannot get comfortable at all on the field. Came up with a whiff there. Now try to keep this in the zone, but nobody else there to support him. D-Bank with a big drive. Nobody's home. Right between the eyes. Roll over. Play dead. Good miners.
Yeah, you know, Sugar in a tough spot. Bernie actually jumped up from that, and once he did, it took him completely out the play. D-Bank opened that chance, and we are looking at what seems like we're going to see another Brazil here if this keeps up.
Well, time through the corner. Got around 2. Needs to stay with this play and doesn't have the boost to do so. Trying to at least get in D-Bank's way. Nothing doing. Here goes Lucia. The only drama left is how many will North Texas end up with. That's out of the corner. Time again. Got this pass too fast. Bernie not able to beat Lucia. Too fast looking for D-Bank. And a big demolition on Lucia. That will slow down North Texas. Too little, too late, as the final seconds will tick away. 6-0 in game 2. 13-1, the official score line for this series right now. Unless Lucia and North Texas add another, Sugar determined to make sure they don't.
But they will.
And it is 5 more minutes for North Texas to go to 7-1 themselves.
That was a crazy save at the end. But like you said, North Texas put this series on match point. Missouri S&T shut out again. I mean, you can count the game 1, give up goal if you want, but at least this time they were able to get some more shots on the board. That game really boiled down to positioning. Positioning was way off for Missouri S&T. Some clears got over them, and they got punished big time for it. But besides that, their offense was almost 10 times better than it was in game 1. They improved. They had doubled their shots. And then on top of that, they looked a lot stronger when they were on the offensive press. But now backs against the wall, they have to play good on both sides of the field. And that seems like a tall order because North Texas is running over them.
Well, here we go. North Texas closing in on a sweep. Trying to keep pace with LSU. Again, keep the pressure on them at the top of the standings, but also more importantly, distance themselves from the rest of the pack. You've got 4 teams currently on 3 match wins. This would be big for UNT. Bernie trying to go over top. Lucia makes the stop. Sugar can't follow up. And it's only time left in midfield. Sugar actually cuts right in front. Now Bernie will at least have a look, and Too Fast just beat him to the punch. That's been a theme in this series. Bernie has not been able to get those high-quality looks that he was getting against other teams like Washington State, Cal State Fullerton, etc.
That's true. That being said, I really enjoyed what I saw from him when he had a free ball. Instead of booming it, which he does now, and it actually might become... No, it's not a goal.
Oh, my goodness.
Out. Sugar plays it off the side while no one's there. But what I was going to say was earlier, Time was on defense. He actually took his time, played the ball to the wall, and he got a nice air dribble that got the team a lot of space. If Missouri S&T can do that, find that control around the ball, it can lead to some positives. This one, maybe a chance, 2v1 situation, but Sugar flicks it straight to Lucia.
Little indecisiveness there, whether or not to go for the bump. And now it's still loose in front. Chance for Missouri S&T. Time barely got a piece of that. Cleanly to the corner. Out for Bernie, or rather Sugar, and his shot sailed high. Oh boy, Bernie will try. This is wide. Oh, they've hit everything except the net. Time now on target, and D-Bank in the way again. He's made 3 great saves along the goal line, credited with 2. And now another one from Too Fast, and they're gonna score. After all of that from Missouri S&T, they are neg 1 in this game.
Missouri S&T, I think, put 5 shots on that drive. Too Fast only needed 1. He's shooting 100%. North Texas start this one off with a goal. The counterattack just too deadly.
Those 6 shots don't go, and you just got to be wondering, all right, I don't know what deity they have upset, but they need to apologize profusely. There is something else going on here. Lucia Plays this deep into the corner. Sugar right at Lucia because he's there, I guess. Too fast now. Gonna try to get onto that quickly. Wave dash right by the ball.
Oh, D-Bank high. Lucia follow-up. Knocks Bernie out the net, but not before someone gets a piece of the ball. Too fast, looking for the solo. Double touch, and D-Bank can't get there. That's a pass mid, but look at North Texas. Look how they're moving. No way. That one, if that would have been fantastic. I'm starting to get...
Oh, time. Yeah, time got bumped there, and I was worried. Still am. For the Miners defense, Sugar can't catch up to it. It still finds its way in. D-Bank adds his fifth goal. Yeah, fifth goal of the series.
Man, time is just barely off. All he needs is a better jump, and he gets a 50 on that ball. That's the slight difference there. Meanwhile, D-Bank continuing to remain consistent. North Texas up by 2, almost by 3. Lucia ready to get another goal, but too fast off the ceiling, and it's off target. Follow-up, D-Bank's blocked out by time.
He had no boost. He had to time that up perfectly, and he did. By the way, don't want to shortchange D-Bank. That was his 6th of the series. Details matter. 2-0 here for North Texas as they are closing in on a sweep, and too fast. Shut down time there. Bernie coming on. Lucia's there. It's got to be, it feels like 5 defenders out there right now against the Miners.
This is rough, right? This is the best offense we've seen all series. Every single game, their offense gets better and better. But at this point, it's almost looking like it's too late. Down by 2, a minute 30. And they really have to play perfect. And there's a mistake. There's the punish. And that's a 3-goal difference.
And it seems insurmountable at this point. Only $1:24 to go. And just any time Missouri S&T looks like they're going to get that offensive flow going, something like that happens around midfield. North Texas capitalizes. They're at the top of the league for a reason, or very close to it. Sugar looking for Bernie. Trying to at least break this shutout. The only goal they've scored in this series was right at the end of game 1 when North Texas literally gave them a goal. There's a good block out in front, but now Bernie's got to get there too fast trying to style and profile, and it almost led to another goal.
Yeah, he ended up bidding 2 out with that. All it took was someone to read the 50, and next thing you know, that is a goal. Maybe time can find one. No, D-Bank with the save. Follow up off. Sugar, maybe Bernie can score this. No, it just doesn't go in. It's a clear downfield. I mean, at some point, you watch how close Missouri S&T get to some of these goals, and you just start to feel for them.
You got to be process-oriented in this kind of situation. You look at the results, and it's got to be discouraging. The improvement was there throughout the series, but not the results. Here goes Sugar. Looking to break the shutout, and finally does with 16 to go.
There you go. At least you get 1 as Sugar. This is actually really nice. Look at that. The backwards aerial into the shot. Not a lot of people from North Texas were expecting that. You saw the defensive breakdown. So solid shot for Missouri S&T. A good goal for Sugar on the way out.
They'll at least try to get something going on the kickoff here, but it is Lucia's ball. No, Bernie went up, open. Picked it away from him, and drops this in. Hold the phone. 9 seconds left, and all of a sudden, it's a game.
Look at Bernie. Extra effort. Boost down straight into that. Doesn't want to give D-Bank any time. And the boy, they just might have a chance. 9 seconds left.
That one took 7. Time. Quickly through. It's Bernie on the ball again. This is who you want, but it's blocked by too fast. Sugar over to time. Backboard. D-Bank is there. Vicious clear away. And that almost does it. But North Texas kept this ball in the air. Now it's finally crossed over, and that will do it. North Texas, they had to sweat a little in the final few seconds of game 3, but they absolutely dominated here on their way to 7-1. And a gargantuan game differential to boot. They go to plus 12 on the season.
Yeah, that's big for North Texas. Missouri S&T, man, this is one of those series where, you know, you really wanted the team that came out in game 3 to come out in game 1. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it there. And you see the results, and you know, they got a little bit better over time, but at that point, 9 seconds left is too little too late to get back in.
So as mentioned, North Texas goes up to 7-1. They do not have anybody to worry about, I believe, on our sister stream over with College Carball. I don't think anybody else in the West is playing tonight. So unless there's anything off stream, those standings are going to remain pretty well set. But we do have one more match to go on our end, and it's a big one. Teams looking to kind of claw their way into that playoff picture. UT Arlington gets the Washington State Cougars. It's our final match coming up right after this.
Because I think Bernie